Hello everyone, welcome back to the R&J Fix channel.
I'm R.
And I'm Jay. Today we will be replacing the rear wiper blade on a 2019 to 2024 Toyota RAV. In this video we will be replacing the entire wiper blade, and towards the end we will show you how to replace just the refill. Now, on many of these blades, when they first come out of the package, there will be an off-color protective coating, a protective cover on the blade itself. This must first be removed. And guys, today this is a no tools job.
So as Jay said, we're going to be changing the rear wiper blade on this vehicle. In order to do that, this blade arm has to be pulled away from the windshield. But as you can see, it doesn't come all the way. And that's because there's a stop built in here under this cap. So the first thing we're going to do is remove this end cap to allow the blade to arc all the way out. To remove the end cap, we're going to grab underneath, right here in the front. We're going to pull it apart and it pops right up. It's on a hinge in this car. We've had some other cars where this actually came off. But now that this is removed, we can see that the blade can rotate all the way out. In order to get the blade off, we're now going to rotate the blade on the arm until it pops off. Now you heard that click, that pops off. We're going to lift it out. Now, to remove the protective cover that Jay spoke about, in this case, we're just going to slide it off. And you can see as I pull it, it just comes right off the blade. In some cases, you have to snap it this way, but always try first to see if you can slide it so you don't snag on the rubber and mess it up a little bit. So this just comes right off. Now, the old blade came off in this orientation, and we can see that by showing how the cleats are at the right side, and the larger hole is also to the right. So the new blade is going to go on exactly the same way, with those cleats to the right and the larger hole to the right. So now we're going to assemble the blade to the arm. What's essentially going to happen is this axle right here is going to snap into this receiver on the arm. And to do that, we're going to make sure that we have it oriented correctly. Now this could be a little bit misleading because our logo that's printed on the blade is actually going to be upside down, but it's proper for this vehicle. So we're going to put this on. We're going to see that this axle finds its way into that receiver. You heard that little bit of a jump. Now listen for the snap. It's in, and it's nice and secure. We bring it down to the windshield. We take our cover. All we do is rotate it back, snap it into place, and this job is done. Okay. So as Jay mentioned, we're going to show you how to change just the refill part on the existing blade arm. This is the old one that we just took off, and as you can see, it's starting to come apart on the one end. The wiping edge is coming apart. On the back end, it's coming apart, and the wiping edge is also coming apart. So essentially, this blade is wiped out. In order to get the refill out of the cleat, there's two ways of doing that. As we've shown in some of our other videos, you could try to bend it and pull it past this end stop. But in this particular blade, the gap between the cleat and the end stop is actually very small, and it makes the bend a little bit difficult. However, the gap between the cleats is pretty big, which gives us a little bit more flexibility. So what we're going to do to get this one off is we're going to pull it backwards, and we're going to arc it right here in itself. Now, we find that pulling it and holding it in, you see how it's starting to bend, it pops right out. Once you've got the cleat on the front removed, the entire refill just slides out of the remaining two cleats. So what you would do with the refill is you need to save these stainless steel stiffening ribs that are embedded into the wiper blade refill. But they come right out. All you do is just pick the end up and pop the entire stainless steel piece out of the slot in the side of the blade. Okay. We're gonna make believe this is a new refill. Our next step is to take the stainless steel stiffening rib and put it back into the new refill. Now, if you look right here, you'll see there's a gap, there's a slot, and that slot actually has an end which is closed off to keep the stiffening rib from falling out. This stiffening rib goes into this slot. We're going to turn it on its edge. We're going to place it into the slot and then just run it down the blade. So the stainless steel stiffening rib is in place, and we've done the exact same thing to put the second blade on the other side. Now we're going to assemble the refill to the arm. To do that, we're going to find this middle cleat and we're going to slide the blade in so that the stiffening rib actually runs into the cleat itself. In the beginning, you're going to have to overcome a tiny bit of resistance from the end cap. But once it goes in, you saw how it popped in. You do the exact same thing we did to take it off. See, slide it right in. And then here, we're going to bend it just a little bit to get it in. And once it catches in that third cleat, this is now done. So this is, if you could find this refill, this could be a way of saving a couple of nickels by changing the refill instead of the whole blade. And it's, as you can see, it's fairly simple to do.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming with us today. That'll about do it. If you liked it, maybe leave us a like, perhaps subscribe, and we'll see you soon. This video was approved by Rosie.